Welcome to the Twin Geeks 182. We come to this place for magic. We come to the Twin Geeks to laugh, to cry, to rank films. Because we need that, all of us. That indescribable feeling when Matt shares the screen and we go through Nicole Kidman's filmography. Matt, how are you? I'm so glad you're joining us.
I'm doing great, Calvin. How about you?
Good. I'm in the Nicole Kidman mode. As preface, you've seen, I think, everything on this list, and I've seen much of it, but not all of it.
There's actually one movie on here that I have not seen, which we'll get to,
Okay.
and I would like help
Is
watching
that the
that.
please help?
Yeah, yeah. I put a little tier
Okay.
down there for it.
Okay. I like all your rankings. So because it's also an audio podcast, we'll just say the rankings first. You want to run through what they are?
Yeah, yeah. We're making a tier list of Nicole Kidman movies. That's what we're doing on this podcast today. And we've got the tiers here are up at the top is Perfect and Powerful. A is Magic. B is Somehow Reborn. C is Not Just Entertained. D is Just Not Entertained. E is the horrendous Regal ad.
That's the
Uh,
category, the Regal ad. That's good.
yeah, have you seen that? It's
Yeah,
it's
it's
awful.
terrible. They took it away
It,
now, I think.
oh, did they? Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it makes you embarrassed to be a cinephile. It's just like they're squeezing 100 movie quotes into like a minute. It's too much.
Very
And
cringy.
then
Yeah.
there's another tier down here, Z, for movies that aren't even really Nicole Kidman movies, and we're just going to mention them for completeness.
That's the only one I have a question about, by the way. What does that mean? Not a
Yeah, I mean
Kidman movie.
there are a couple on here where she's just like a voice on the other side of the phone, or like she's
Okay.
in one scene, or like it's cameo roles, if that, basically. Yeah, and then last tier, please help for the one movie I have not seen.
Sure. That you need help accessing or would need
Yes, yeah,
DVDs of.
yeah. If
Yeah.
someone can send a DVD or a VHS, or well, yeah, we'll get to it.
Whatever format, Laserdisc.
I'll have to buy a player, but yeah, if
Yeah.
that's the only way this has to happen, then I'll do it.
Whatever it takes for completion.
Uh-huh.
Why did you want to do this? You approached me with this. What was your like impetus for wanting to do the Nicole
Well,
Kidman
you
rank?
were fishing around for Twin Geeks episodes, things to rank, things to complete, and I knew I had a few Nicole Kidman movies left.
Okay.
And I thought we could turn this into an episode, but also the AMC Nicole Kidman ad is a very interesting piece of culture to me. Unironically, it's such a bizarre thing to exist. It's been playing before every movie for the last 2 years that AMC has shown. They've gone through a few iterations of it because like
Yeah.
people got tired of it, so they cut it down to 30 seconds, and then
Did
people
they?
demanded they bring it back up to the full minute. Yeah. Uh,
Hey, and I heard they were doing like a sequel, but I think they're a little gun shy now because people love it so much.
yeah, like over a year ago, the writer of the ad who is like a actual like Hollywood figure. He wrote Captain Phillips, I think, and some other
Okay.
things. I can't remember who it is, but
Yeah.
uh yeah, he said he had already written the sequel.
Okay.
It's ready for when people get sick of the first one, I guess. But
And maybe
I'm
never, you know?
yeah, I wonder what the longevity of these will be. Like if it's gonna be like those let's all go to the lobby, like
Yeah.
those theater commercials,
Like
maybe
in
this will
in
live on
like
for
80 years,
decades.
they're going to be playing this at like a grindhouse showing before whatever film, right? Like once AMC is gone and like future tense, it's going to be one of those that they bring back for those showings, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I keep like tags on my letterbox diary for theaters and things. So I checked how many times I think I've seen this, and it's 148 screenings at AMC in the last 2 years when they started
Would
playing it.
would you say that's accurate? Like you've seen it that many times?
Uh, might maybe like -10 because
Okay,
sometimes I'm late and like I'll miss the ad or something.
sure.
And yeah,
So at least 130 something times
yeah,
is
yeah.
is pretty good numbers. I've seen it, most of mine are press screenings, so I don't always get it even at AMC's. So I'm very lucky when I get to go out to a regular folks screening and get to see the AMC ad. I always love it. It makes me feel good.
Heartbreak feels good. Yeah. So let's get into this list here. So we'll start out with her early teenage roles in Australia. That first one here is Skin Deep, and this is actually not a Nicole Kidman movie, in my opinion. She's in it for like one scene. She gets
Okay.
like the guy at the modeling agency like says, "Hey, I'll give you a job if you sleep with me," and then I think he kills her or something. But she's gone for the
Oh,
rest of the movie. She's not part of
she
it.
didn't get a job. That's
No, yeah.
no.
Okay. Next one is Chase Through the Night. If I can find it in this huge sea of movies, she has 75, I think we're doing here.
That's quite a
Uh,
few.
yeah, so she's not, it's a supporting role. I would say
Okay.
it actually is a Nicole Kidman movie this time, but she basically just gets kidnapped by some people doing crimes. She's like out in a shed, and nothing really
Hmm.
interesting happens. I'd say it's pretty boring. It's an Australian TV movie. I think
Okay.
most of her early movies are just like cheap Australian TV
So
movies.
comparable to a Regal ad, you'd
Yeah,
say.
comparable to a Regal ad. So
Sure.
yeah, down in the bottom tier.
Absolutely.
Next up is Bush Christmas. This one's a bit more interesting. Her family is like they live out in the country, I guess, or in the outback. Maybe they've got like a really fast horse, and then some criminals hear about that horse and come steal it because
Okay.
they can make some money off of it. It's not great though. I mean, it's still like the equivalent of a Disney Channel movie, more or less. So I think I can put this down in D tier for just not entertained.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Okay, and now we can get to one that we've both seen, and
Yes.
uh, that's BMX Bandits. You just watched this one, Calvin. What do you think of it?
It has so much attitude and it feels like the time it was made. And it feels like what you would do in 83 if you could just make like an extreme sports movie with the real acting in it. Uh, how do you feel about it's from the director of Leprechaun movies, at least a
Yeah,
couple
it's
of them?
Brian Trenchard Smith. He did Leprechaun 3 and 4, I think. He did some
Hmm.
other Ozploitation movies, like Dead End Drive-In, I think is
Yeah.
him off the top of my head. Yeah. He's a fun director. Uh, Fun thing about this movie is Nicole Kidman does not do her own stunts, and for those stunts, they just have a big guy in a wig. It doesn't really look like
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman.
Well,
You can see it on an HD transfer. That is definitely not her.
what did I say? I said BMX bikes feel good in a place like this. The film stays so close to like that childhood moment or movement of a bicycle. Like it really does. Like the film moves and it's good. But like you say, like the Nicole Kidman stunts aren't really her. So I
Yeah,
don't think
so
we're
we're
reborn.
no.
Hmm,
Would you say you're more than would you are you just not entertained or are you not
I'm
just
somewhere
entertained?
between those. I could go either way on your push, whatever you feel is
I like it.
I like it enough. I would watch it again because it's fun and it's so 80s in
Yeah,
a
it's
good
definitely
way.
better than Bush Christmas
Oh
here.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
And then we have Matthew and Son, which I couldn't find any kind of poster for
Oh,
anywhere, so I just went with the IMDb backdrop with
cool.
like just a low quality image. I don't know if I can. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah.
Hmm.
Let me check my notes on this one because I've already forgotten almost everything about it. Oh yeah,
There are a
she's just
few I
like
haven't seen.
yeah. So
Uh,
the title is Matthew and Son. Nicole Kidman is Son's friend, girlfriend. She just like gets kidnapped with him again, like another one of those.
Matt,
Uh,
there's only one review of this on Letterboxd, and you're the only friend I have that's seen it. So
Yeah, it
it's
has 11 views, I think. Like it only popped up on YouTube within the last 3 months. Like this is
okay.
actually pretty good timing. Like a lot of these more obscure ones, like I like when I went looking for them a few weeks ago, they were on YouTube and uploaded recently. So that was
Hmm.
nice.
She's not in it too much. It's not that
No,
much of a
not too
Kidman
much.
movie. Okay.
Yeah. After that is Wills and Burke. And so Wills and Burke, I guess, are like these Australian explorers who went around the country and like died sometime in the, I don't know, 1800s, whenever they were exploring Australia, right?
Hmm.
And this is like a black comedy about it. Nicole Kidman is an actress who was like engaged to one of them before the trip, and like she tries to put on a show about it. It's an annoying comedy. I don't like the kind of humor at all. I
It's
found it
it's
quite dire to
directed
watch.
it's directed by Bob Wise. He's like
Is
the
that somebody I
president
should
of
know?
like well he's like the president of like Disney Imagineering, excuse me. So he's like a significant figure at Disney right now. That's interesting.
Oh, huh.
He does like the parks and resorts for Disney. He's a president of all that stuff. That's neat. That he did that. I guess he hasn't done many other movies. Just that one. It looks like.
Yeah, when I was looking for When I went looking for it, I actually found the wrong movie at first
Okay.
because there is another movie about Wilsenberg from the same year, except it's called Burrs and Wills or Burke and Wills, and it's a serious like epic
It
drama.
wasn't
Like
much Imagineering that year. Yeah.
no, but yeah, I would say this is Regal Ad Tier down at the bottom. Don't like it at
Ooh.
all.
Oh.
Uh, So with BMX Bandits, that started a trend for her early career where she played sporty teens. And here's the second one in that. That's Archer's Adventure. She rides horses. She
Okay. Is
goes
it
in a
just like a
race.
girl horse movie, or is it something more? Would you
Yeah,
say?
yeah, you nailed it on the head there.
Okay, it's girl horse. All right.
Uh-huh. Now, if I can find it, like I don't think it's too bad, but I would not say I was entertained by it. I'd say it's around Bush Christmas and D
Okay.
tier for just
That
not
makes sense to
entertained.
me. The poster on Letterbox is almost unreadable for Archer's Adventure. Yours is a little better.
And
Uh,
my copy of the movie was also almost unwatchable.
oh,
Like
was it? Okay.
yeah, very few pixels. They're
Okay.
difficult to see.
So the poster is accurate on Letterbox.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Great.
Like I assume most of these were probably just recorded off of TV
Yeah.
onto a VHS tape in the 80s, and like someone found them in a garage sale recently and uploaded them to YouTube or
Sure.
something.
Maybe
Yeah.
Bob Wise in his free time is
Uh-huh. So next one is Wind Rider. This is another sporty Nicole Kidman movie, kind of. Actually, well, she is a rock star girlfriend of the windsurfer, so I guess she's not the sporty person in this one.
hmm.
Uh, but it has some production value, got some fun sailing scenes. She's a fun character in it.
Okay.
I could put it up with BMX Bandits, I think.
Not just entertained. Seems
Yeah.
fair. Okay.
Next one, another sporty Nicole Kidman movie. This time she does karate after school with like a secret club, and the teachers have some kind of conspiracy. The name on Letterboxd is Watch the Shadows Dance, but the poster says Nightmaster.
Okay.
Not sure what the deal with that is. I don't like it very much. I'd say I was just not entertained by it,
Hmm.
but it's not annoying to me. It wasn't terrible. Not
It
Regal ad tier.
it looks like it's the first one with like her face like prominently. Maybe Archer's Adventure too, but
Well, and Skin Deep, she's right there on the
oh
front
yeah,
with her
yeah.
huge hair, even though she's only in it for like a scene.
This one starts to look like the blue and gray Kidman posters that are kind of popular in her filmography. Just it's mostly her face is what I'm saying. Like everything else is kind of background to her suddenly.
Yeah, I assume a lot of these posters were like made retroactively, like after she
Right.
got some fame, and
Yeah.
then like they can
Okay.
market them.
That would
Yeah.
be fair. Yeah. It wasn't the start of that trend. It was probably, yeah, retroactive.
Yeah, and the next one is the one movie that I've not been able to find. I tried ordering a DVD from a warehouse across the other side of the world. It did not work. I had to get a refund. It came
Uh,
through, but an Australian in Rome. If anybody knows where I can find this, if you have a copy, please, I would love to watch it in Australian Rome, an Australian in Rome. Not just because it's the only Nicole Kidman I haven't seen, but it's directed by Sergio Martino, who's a big Italian director, did a lot of famous giallo like All the Colors of the Dark and
okay.
Torso. Yeah, like some great movies up there, and like it's wild to me that this one is the one that I haven't been able to find. Like out of all these like Australian TV movies that probably just aired once in the 80s or something, like the one by a famous Italian director is the one that seems to be lost to time.
Yeah, there's almost no ratings at all. There's like a few 2 out of 10s, a 10 out of 10, not much else.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know. I
curious.
would love to know where those people are watching it.
Right. Maybe they saw it way back then, but maybe they're lying.
It also has a hilarious description on Letterboxd that's like clearly machine translated or something. I'm just gonna read some. I'll read the last sentence. Everything seems to wonder proceed between the two, as in a beautiful tale with a happy ending, as long as it abides pure Luigi victim of a bad car accident. I don't know what that means.
That seems like maybe like direct like from Italian like translation, but not translated. It's maybe a but yeah, also maybe machine learned translation.
Oh,
Unclear.
that's what I mean by machine
Yeah,
translated.
yeah.
Like if it just goes,
Absolutely.
yeah. Uh, Okay, next one is the bit part. She is not the lead. She, in fact, has a bit of a bit part, but
Okay.
it's about actors getting bit parts.
Oh, so maybe that can't be not a Kidman movie then, because that's kind of the purpose, right?
Yeah, I mean the lead of the movie is like there's a male character who's the lead who actually stars across her in another movie later. I don't remember his name, but yeah, it's okay. It's not annoying to me. It's not terrible, so it's not Regal ads here, but I would say I was just not
Just not
entertained.
entertained. Okay.
Like a lot of things are going into lower tiers here, but I think that's inevitable when you're exploring an actor's filmography. Because
I
with the
think so. With
director,
one this big, especially.
yeah, with like over 70 movies, like actors don't have full control over the movies they're in, especially not when you're
No.
like a teenager, just start getting your career started. I mean,
Hmm.
uh, but if you take a deep dive into actors, you're definitely gonna come across a lot of boring and terrible movies.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Next one is arguably not even a movie. It was the TV pilot for a series that like seems to have been repackaged as a movie, but it doesn't even have like an ending. So I'm gonna say
Okay.
it's Regal Ed here. It's called Room to Move, by the way. It's another sporty teen Nicole Kidman movie. This time she's a runner.
Okay. Uh,
Okay. Next one is Emerald City. I hate
hmm.
this movie. It's a writer's like fantasy about it sort of presents itself as a parody of a middle-aged writer going through a midlife crisis, but
Okay.
that is just what it is. Almost like he like goes after young Nicole Kidman and everything. It's kind of gross. I just don't like it.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
And now we have maybe the first really uh worthwhile movie here. Well, BMX Bandits is good, but
Yeah, it's worthwhile too, but
Dead Calm. This is really her breakout movie that got her seen outside of Australia. If I can
this is
find
only
the
the
link
second one
here.
that I've seen here.
Yeah, I wouldn't
It's
recommend
up in the
anybody
top
like
right
watch
there
any of
for
the
you.
other ones we've talked about so far.
Up in the
Yeah,
top right, you'll have Dead Calm there. And
yeah.
um I mean I kind of love it. I kind of love like this kind of like seafaring movie, which it just has like a vibe to it, and you could like see in her eyes that she's going to become like a big thing. She looks great on camera. She's like starting to like come into her age and maturing as an actor, and she gets to play against Sam Neill and Billy Zane, which is really great for her.
Yeah, it's a really tense thriller. They're out on a boat. They find Billy Zane. He says everybody on his boat died of food poisoning, but
Right.
there's probably something more going on here. Tense movie from Philip Noyce, who did some of the Jack Ryan movies later, and it's also
Mm,
produced by George Miller.
okay.
Did some directing on it. I think you
And
noted.
I think it has, yeah, a lot of George Millerisms in it, and maybe like some carryover from how he directs things. It kind of becomes a bottle episode, right? When they uh, leave the husband behind on the other ship, and they take it over. I think Nicole Kidman does a lot for it. I think somewhere between Magic and Reborn would be fine. Um,
I'd like it in Magic.
I think I like it
I
in
th-
Magic too. I think I really want to see it again. And also has one of my favorite endings of this list where he takes the what do you call it? Like a torch or what do you call
Flare
that? A
gun.
flare gun, and he shoots it through the sail, and it goes like through his mouth, and he like lights him up with it. Just
Yeah,
incredible.
it's great. Okay, and then after that is her first movie with Tom Cruise. That's Days of Thunder.
This
You
kind of
just watched
changes
this one.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
think
I
it's an American production. Her first one over there, right?
right, and it's a Tony Scott movie, so it's a certain kind of thing, and it's just going to be like a redux of Top Gun, which is kind of like her kind of fitting into like the Kelly McGillis kind of role of Top Gun.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't really like how it handles like the sexualization of her. Uh, but she seems like the strongest character also in that movie. Tough.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, I don't like the movie about race cars. Not my thing.
Yeah, I did. I mean, Tony Scott directs the hell out of it when they're moving, like when the cars are going. It's like not quite Top Gun like aerial maneuver, but um, I mean, I don't know. I don't have strong feelings about it. So just not entertained feels fair.
Yep, down in D tier. Next up, Flirting. This is like a coming of age, young teenage romance movie. Nicole Kidman is not the lead. It's uh, Noah Taylor and Tandua Newton, I think is how you say her name.
Hmm.
Uh, Naomi Watts is in there too. But again, like Nicole Kidman is not in it much, but it is a supporting performance. I like the movie though. I would say I was not just entertained by it. It's sweet.
Okay.
Have you seen this one?
No, I haven't yet.
Here it is. Um, yeah, we'll just put that there.
Cool. Yeah, I'm good with it. I want to see it. So I think it's interesting. Interesting actresses in it.
Next one is Billy Bathgate, which is I think Goodfellas exploitation. Like it really wants to be a like Scorsese gangster kind of movie. I think
Okay.
she's definitely supporting in it. It's mostly like a Dustin Hoffman movie. Buscemi's in there too.
Oh
I would
yeah,
say I was
from the director of Kramer versus Kramer, so maybe like maybe a Hoffman vehicle again.
yeah, yeah. I would say I was just not entertained.
Okay. They amuse me every time you say that. It's good. Um, yeah,
uh
that seems fine.
Have you seen Far and Away, directed by Ron Howard? This is the second Tom Cruise Nicole Kidman movie.
I don't believe I have. Had they like they got together like right away in the first one, right? Like right after Days of Thunder, or no?
Yeah, that sounds right to me. I don't, I'm not sure, but I think so. So they
He
were
kind
already
of
a couple.
changes her career in interesting ways.
Yeah, like most of these movies now are American instead of Australian.
I don't
Definitely
know where
gets
she
his run over
loses
here.
like the accent along the way. Was it Days of Thunder? I think she kind of had still a bit of a.
I think
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure she's had her full accent in Days of Thunder. Wasn't her character still Australian
I
or
believe
am
so.
I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but
she loses it soon though.
yeah, she's like an Irish immigrant in Fear and Away, isn't she?
Okay.
Or Far and Away, or maybe just Tom Cruise is, but they're immigrants trying to make their way
Hmm.
uh in the new world. I
Okay.
don't like it very much. It's long, it's
Not
boring.
a Ron Howard guy myself.
No, just not entertained.
Just not entertained.
Next one is an Aaron Sorkin script,
Okay.
Malice.
Haven't seen Malice either.
She's got a fun role in it. The premise
Hmm.
starts with like she's under surgery for something and something goes wrong and the doctor like ends up removing her ovaries and
Hmm.
maybe he didn't need to do that and so they sue, but there are twists to this story. It's very twisty. Sorkin in thriller mode. Uh I think it's okay. I was
Okay.
not just entertained. I don't know.
Sure. There's something more going on there.
Yeah. Next is My Life with Michael Keaton. She's supporting him. He is, I think he has pancreatic cancer or some kind of cancer, and it's about that. It's her about their relationship as they go through it. I don't think it's anything special. Have you seen this one? Know
No.
anything about it? No. Okay, let's move on. To Die For. Did you just watch this one, I believe?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all right. How do you feel about it? It's
I
to
like it.
die for.
She's got Joaquin Phoenix like simping for her. Like just who else is in there? It's- I can never
And
remember his name.
Matt Dillon's in there
Yeah.
and Casey Affleck. So they are Gus Van Sant guys too. Those other three kind of work with him regularly. I really like a Gus Van Sant movie. I think Not Just Entertained is perfectly fine here.
Okay. Next is Batman Forever. Curious how you feel about this one.
um, where are you at with it? What do you think of her role?
Of her role,
Yeah,
she's fine in it. Yeah. I mean, again, like most of these movies she's supporting, and that's just how being an actress is historically. You don't get as many leading parts
yeah.
as
You
your
don't get to
male
be Batman.
contemporaries. Yeah.
Um,
I
hmm.
hate Jim Carrey in it. I always find him annoying. I never like his stick.
No,
Uh,
I could see him not being a Matt guy. That would be fair, I think.
I would put this
Mm.
down and just not entertained personally, unless you want to fight for it somewhere else.
No, I think that's fine, and I don't think it's not the best Batman movie even from that time. Um,
All right, next one from Jane Campion, The Portrait of a Lady. Our friends at the Stacks have been covering James Campion recently, and I think
mhm.
you also just watched this movie.
Yeah, and I really like Jane Campion's vibe in it, and I think it's um, really interesting always to adapt a Henry James story because he's one of my favorite authors. That I think it really carries over from like literature to literature of the screen. And Campion's perfect for that. Not like the greatest movie, but The Last
Would you put
Shot's
it on
one of
the
my
same tier
favorites
as Dead
of
Calm?
Campion's. Maybe I mean, would you? How do you feel about it?
Uh, it's been a long time since I've seen this one.
Okay.
I liked it fine. I was like, it's just kind of uh the stuffier costume, more character driven stuff wasn't. I wasn't as big into it at the time. Maybe I would like it
Hmm.
more now, but
I think
it's been a while,
like
so
my
you
main
can decide where
argument
this
for it
goes.
is just like direction because like the gothic lighting and everything and how the light is played with and framed. It's I'd maybe do maybe somehow reborn would be okay. It's still a somehow though. The portrait of the lady's not on fire yet. Um,
Okay. The Leading Man. This one is not a Nicole Kidman movie. She just
okay,
appears on TV to give Bon uh, John Bon Jovi's character an award.
okay, that's
That's
it.
it. Yeah, that's it. So
I
as soon
can't
as
even
I can
believe that's a
find it,
credit sometimes. So I feel like that maybe you know.
yeah. I guess it's ambiguous whether she was herself or not. Like it didn't
Hmm,
say, and here's Nicole Kidman to give the award. She just gave the award. But
sure.
do you see it in the bank here? Sorry. Oh, The Leading Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
not a
there.
Nicole Kidman movie. Moving on to
Cool.
The Peacemaker. It's Nicole Kidman with George Clooney. They're doing war stuff, intelligence stuff. I
Yeah.
just don't care.
I started it and I just didn't care enough to finish it. Even for this project, I was just I don't, we're not going to rank it high. I don't have to make a big argument for it. I'm good.
Yeah, I think this is Regal ad tier. I just do not care.
Yeah, yeah, same. It would
Okay.
be funny to put like one that is a Nicole Kidman movie and like not a Nicole Kidman, like it's that bad, but we don't have to do that.
Uh, if you want to make the case for any movie, speak up.
No,
But
I'm good for now.
next up is Practical Magic with Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock as witchy sisters, right? That's what's going on
Yeah,
there.
like I
Yeah.
watched it with Jess and Ezra like recently, but I was kind of divided and had to do some chores and stuff, so I didn't log it. And then I watched like bits and pieces with them again. They kind of like having it on. So I'd argue at least above, above D tier maybe.
Yeah, I'd put it in C tier for not just entertained.
I mean, it's kind of like it's fun, it's witchy, it's our family kind of likes that kind of thing about stories about women and witches, and we need more of those.
Yeah. Now I think we can like look at some of the top tiers for this next one because it's Eyes Wide Shut.
Cool.
Do we
Yeah,
even need to say anything here? Can we just put this in perfect and powerful?
I think it's just like a transformation, like for like the kind of serious actor she is. Like the gravitas of Nicole Kidman is achieved because she's in a Kubrick movie with Tom Cruise. That like elevates both of them like out of where they were. It's amazing.
And this is her third and final film with Cruise. Divorce not long after this, right?
Probably
I think.
possibly because like partly because of this movie, right? Like it seems like entangled at least in that time. Um, a lot of drama around the movie. It seemed like.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't following movies at that time. I was just a toddler. I wouldn't have gotten all those details. But
Yeah,
next up is perhaps my favorite Nicole Kidman movie, and that's Moulin Rouge.
that's your
I would
favorite?
put this in
Okay.
perfect and powerful. Yeah, I love it. I think it's so fun. The jukebox musical format, everything. It's perfect to me. Do you like it?
I like it, I think enough to kind of support that argument. And uh I'm trying to think if it's like perfect and powerful. I think I just like it. I think I've probably underrated it if anything, but my patience for Baz Luhrmann has gone up as I've gotten older. So um
Yeah, it's by far my favorite Baz Luhrmann movie too.
it's I think it is
Yeah.
good. Maybe Yeah, I have Gatsby rated above it, so I have to revisit this one. Let's put it, yeah. I'm happy with Magic if you are, but it could go up if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I would put it at the top, but I'll settle for Magic for now.
Okay.
Uh, Next up is The Others.
Hmm.
Uh, did you watch? I watched this one recently. I think you might have been there with me.
The Others. I'm trying to remember. It's such a.
Well,
I did see
she's
it.
like in
I don't.
this spooky gothic mansion, and there seem to be ghosts around. There's a twist at the end.
As I open my reviews, this is my third review that says something feels good in a house like this. I'm like Harper feels good in a house like this. I've done this at least 3 times so far. So how many times have I repeated this joke? At
It's a
least.
powerful ad.
Yeah,
It sticks with you.
it clearly affected my writing in many ways. Hmm. Studious of old ghost stories in ways that feel academic but not evocative of them. Good credit to the actors, I said. Hmm. I'm not sure where to go
Personally,
with it.
I'd put this up in Magic. I really like it.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to do that, I'll go with it. I like it.
Okay. Uh, Next one is Birthday Girl. Nicole Kidman is like a Russian mail order bride who's like presents herself as a refugee or something, but then it's actually like a scam on the guy, and
Hmm.
she calls in the mafia and they like rob him or something.
Okay.
I don't like it at all.
Okay, fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I don't know if it's just not entertained or Regal
Let's
ad, but it's one of those.
see.
Maybe not
Jez
just not
Butterworth.
entertained.
Is it? It's like his only movie, only 2 movies here. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you could do Regal ad if you want to, but
Might as well. Why not?
yeah, let's fill
Life is
up that.
short.
Hmm.
Uh, Next one is David Fincher's Panic Room. You might be wondering, where is Nicole Kidman in Panic Room? She's on the other end of a phone line. It's not a
Okay,
Nicole Kidman
yeah.
movie.
I was wondering. Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Next is The Hours, which she won her Oscar for.
Hmm.
Did you just watch this one or not?
I kind of started it. I haven't had time for it, but what do you think of it?
I think it is fine. It's very much an Oscar movie. It's Stephen Daldry making prestige movie.
Hmm.
Everybody's acting. I just don't care for it too much. I would say, it's fine. I would say not just entertained. There's something there. Like it's
Hmm.
not as bad as the things down and just not entertained.
I mean, the director seems like he's kind of in that arc. He did The Reader and Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. I love The Reader, but I just might love that book. So maybe he's onto something. Um,
I
yeah, I
actually
didn't
don't
finish
like.
the hours.
Okay. If you didn't finish it, then you were just not entertained.
Yeah, that's
Let's
fine.
put it there.
True.
Next one, Dogville.
Hmm.
Lars von Trier. Uh, Maybe her meatiest leading role,
Yeah,
or at
I
least
think
one of them.
in it the most. I really like it. I think it's so artistic and cool that I think at least in the B, I mean, you can move it up if you want to, but
Yeah, I was thinking A magic or S
cool.
perfect and powerful. I don't know.
Uh,
Well,
yeah,
maybe not perfect and powerful.
maybe it's like near the top of the A's, but yeah. Why don't you
Okay.
move your Moulin Rouge up? It's bothering me that you didn't get like you were so passionate about it that I want you to have it up. There
Okay.
we go.
Okay.
I
Thank
feel
you.
good now. Um, yeah, now the list is perfect and powerful. Good.
Exactly. Okay. Dogville. Oh yeah. If you like Dogville, watch Hypnotic. That's all I'm gonna say.
I have
Stacked
seen
also have a
Hypnotic.
commentary coming out
Yeah.
on Hypnotic. Putting that out there. All right. Next up, The Human Stain.
Hmm.
Now,
What a
do
name.
you watch this one? Do you
No,
know
I
anything
was
about
thinking
it?
about it. I was looking at it this morning. What do you think of it?
I'll just tell you what it's about. So, uh, Anthony Hopkins is a professor. He
Hmm.
says something that might be a bit racially insensitive, and like people, students report him to the board or whatever. And so he's dealing with this. Nicole Kidman, I think, is she is wife in it? That'd be quite
Huh.
an age gap.
Yeah, it would be
It's been a
strange,
while,
but
but
that happens in some movies. So,
well, this movie has a twist. The twist is that Anthony Hopkins is actually a passing black person, and so
what?
yeah,
What? Are you sure?
yeah.
Hold on. Okay, that's what this cover is trying to show. Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, that goes down in Regal ad. As soon
Uh,
as I can find the poster in our
and
bank
it's from
here.
the director of Billy Bathgate also, so working with him again, for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's terrible. We're
They
putting it
don't
down at
work
the
well
bottom.
together. Keep them separated.
Old Mountain. I like this one a bit. Have you seen it?
I love Cold Mountain. I love the
Oh,
book. It's a Nicole Kidman as a viewer. I'm like a voracious fan of this book, and I kind of like want to support it. I even loved it more in theater, but then I think I read the book afterwards. And I'm like, well, this is just a good version of that. It's all right. So I mean, I'd probably do like somehow reborn, but I don't know how it's held up, right? Like I watched it a lot back in like the early 2000s. You have to like tell me like, is it still like relevant? I think my friends like it.
it's been like 4 years since I've seen it. Maybe, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, it's got a wide cast. Renee Zellweger's in there. I think that's where she got her Oscar. Who else is in it? Is it Jude Law or am I?
Hmm.
Yeah, Jude Law. It's a Philip Seymour Hoffman too. Yeah, it's a stacked cast. That kind of uh, real production. I don't know how else to.
Right. It is like a big
Yeah,
production, a lot of production design. They're like setting up the town. It's like coming into being kind of like McCabe and Miss Miller in a way. And it's kind of like that, like up in the cold mountains. And I just like that kind of setting. So I'm in like somehow reborn territory. I feel great about that.
okay. Next is the Stepford Wives.
Hmm.
Have
I
you
know the
seen either
original.
version of this?
Yeah, I'm a fan of the original.
The remake is definitely not as good. It is
Oh,
flawed in its messaging, though it's very campy. Like I think this could also it sort of parallels Showgirls in a
okay.
way, where I think it's a very flawed way to depict its message, but like there's commitment to it that I kind of
Hmm.
respect, but I don't really like the movie that much. I would put it in just not entertained.
Seems like a hard thing to adapt again. Like I think Stepford Wives kind of nailed it in the 70s. I think we're okay on Stepford Wives.
Yeah, I just can't find it. There it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Birth. Now, if anything is somehow reborn, it's Birth, right? Jonathan Glazer's. Well, I mean,
Mm,
that's the plot of the movie.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
but
I know. It is better than that as a tier. I
no,
agree.
yeah, okay, cool. Okay, I was trying to hold my tongue here because Glazer, of course, is my favorite director of all time.
Yeah, I just rewatched it this morning.
Did
Glazer's
you?
been on, yeah, because I
Okay,
prepare for this, and I picked a couple to rewatch. It was Dead Calm and Birth because Glazer's been
great
on my
picks.
mind with Zone of Interest. I saw it TIFF a few weeks ago, so
I mean, this, this might be my favorite Kidman performance. I think it has like her best moment in like the opera hall, and uh, I think perfect and powerful for me. But where are you at?
yeah. I would put it in Magic probably, but if I got Moulin Rouge up there, we can get
Yeah,
Birth up there
let's
too.
make
I
a
think so.
compromise that this is my Moulin Rouge because this is the one
Sure.
I feel strongest about, and I think it's like the most her performance has ever moved me. Where I was like, holy shit, that is, I would say literally, her her AMC ad is quite like her op performance in Birth. They have a little bit of parallel there. It's interesting.
Yeah. Great movie. Next one is not. It's The Interpreter by Sidney Pollack. His
Oh,
last movie, actually, or his last. I think he worked on a documentary that came out after this, like way after his death, like 10 years
hmm.
or so later or something. I don't remember, but I don't like this. She has a terrible accent, maybe her worst accent in
Oh,
anything. I don't even remember what kind of accent it's supposed to be. But like, in fact, the only thing I remember about this movie is her accent.
maybe
So
Regal ad then. If that's the takeaway, I feel like that's not even just not
okay,
being entertained. That's maybe bad.
yeah, we can forget about it.
Sorry, Sydney Pollack, but rest in peace. But
Yeah,
yeah,
They Shoot Horses, Don't They? Is still great though. You made some good movies.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's great. I should have you on for that if you ever want to. Um, it's
That'd be a
so
good
good.
one. Yeah. Now Bewitched with she's in the lead,
Hmm?
but she's with Will Ferrell, and I hate Will
Hmm.
Ferrell.
I mean, that's kind of like a counterbalance, isn't it? I like Will Ferrell sometimes.
Have you seen
I'm
Bewitched?
trying to remember if I have. I feel like it's like just like outside of when I would have seen something like that because I was like exiting high school around that time probably. Hmm. I don't care about it. I feel like
Okay,
I've maybe seen it in high school and I don't it doesn't matter that I've seen it.
I'll put it in just not entertained then.
Cool.
Uh, Next one's a bit of a weird one. It's called Fur, an imaginary portrait of Diane Arbus. And
What?
so this being an imaginary portrait, like I think it's that means it's loosely based on a real person and events. I don't know how. I think it must be very loose to earn this name. But Nicole Kidman, I think, is like she's an author or reporter, and then
Okay.
Robert Downey Jr. is a man whose entire body is just covered in very long hair. Like he looks like um what's like the hair guy? He's like an Addams Family person, or he's maybe a monster. He's like just
Yeah.
all hair. He's kind of like that. There's like
Like cousin
like
it or whatever it is, or I
yeah,
don't
there's
know.
like an
Yeah.
erotically charged shaving scene where like she shaves off all his hair, and they make a coat out of it that she wears. It's a weird movie. I don't
I,
like it, but
I wouldn't believe you if I didn't think you were very serious about this, right, Keith? So, I don't know, maybe Regal ad because I mean, well, the fur coat's kind of funny though.
yeah, yeah, it's funny enough to be just not entertained. I
Okay.
don't know.
I mean, it's as good as Bush Christmas,
It,
right? It sounds cooler.
it's a weird
But
movie, which makes
okay.
it at least interesting enough not to put down to the bottom, I think.
Yeah.
Now, Happy Feet,
Hmm.
she voices Norma Jean, whoever that is. Do you happen to remember who Norma Jean is in Happy Feet?
Oh God. I mean, do I know who anyone is in?
That's also a good point. Elijah Wood's the main one, right?
Okay, yeah. I mean, I still couldn't have come up with that. So I mean, like at least it's a
Okay, well,
return
how do
to
you feel
her.
about Happy Feet in general?
It's a
Then,
return to her roots. Australian filmmaker. No, I don't.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like these children's movies, I don't feel like are representative of an actor. So I maybe just not entertained seems fair. I don't hate
Mhm.
Happy Feet. I've seen it a lot.
I haven't seen it since 2006, probably. So,
Okay.
yeah.
You don't need to. I mean, I need to sometimes, but yeah, I don't think you need to. And it kind of starts like whatever's excuse me, still happening with like the troll movies of like these sing along like what would you call them? These musicals about like popular songs and just animals like anthropomorphized dancing. That's still
Yeah, I've
kind
never
of
seen any of those Trolls movies. I've seen The Sings. I've
okay.
seen
It's
The
kind of like
Sings.
Sings as well. Yeah, so I think it started something. Happy Feet's maybe better than some of those. Maybe I should watch it again with Ezra. I like George Miller. Maybe I just want to excuse him.
You seen Happy Feet too? That's
Yeah,
another one I don't remember.
I don't remember it. I've seen Happy Feet a lot more than Happy Feet too.
Apparently, she is not in Happy Feet too. I don't know what happened to Norma Jean. Maybe she didn't make it, but
No.
we'll move on to the fourth version of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. This time, just called The Invasion, 2007. She's with Daniel Craig.
I don't think I knew
Uh,
that was a thing. That it was. I didn't know that she was in. Wait, is it really? Is it connected?
yeah, yeah, it's
What?
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's the fourth one of those after the '50s one with Don Siegel. Then there's '78 by Philip Kaufman, I think, Abel Ferrara in '93, and then it's this one. And those are all interesting movies because like the concept of Invasion of the Body Snatchers is versatile enough
Yeah.
that it like reflects different societal fears at each point in time. And this one is definitely like a post 9/11 like Iraq war kind of
Oh,
thing. And it's
okay. This is on my watch list now. I mean, I just, even if it's semi good, I think that's so interesting to make. Um,
yeah, I don't know if it's great, but
okay.
it's interesting. I could put it in either just not entertained or not just entertained.
I can't argue since I haven't seen it, but I'm
Yeah.
so curious. Daniel Craig and Nicole Kidman sounds like a great pairing to me too.
Yeah.
But
It's in yeah, we'll put it in C for the bump to get people to see it. Maybe
yeah,
I'm wrong about not liking it. Right into the
maybe
show.
it'll be good. I'm gonna see that one soon, I think.
Okay.
Hmm.
Margot at the Wedding. You just saw this. What do you think of
Hmm.
it?
Yeah, I think I saw I've seen quite a few of these movies now, like The Celebration or A Fire from this year, where it's like families getting together and like what chaos happens when they kind of go into like a black comedy situation. And Noah Baumbach, I think, is really good for that kind of thing. Um, Have you seen all of them, of course, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I like this one. I like Margot with the Wedding. I like Noah Baumbach.
yeah.
It's got a fun cast in there with Jack Black's in there,
I think
Jennifer Jason Leigh. Like I think it's the last movie before they broke up,
I think
maybe.
maybe it's over discounted because the characters are so unlikable, but it's so on purpose that I think not just entertains perfectly fine. But I mean, do you want to do Reborn? I don't
I don't
know.
feel super
Okay.
strongly about it. I'm fine with just
I
letting
don't
it come
either.
here.
I think people should watch it, I guess, because I think Baumbach's just interesting enough.
Yeah, I guess if you're a listener or a video watcher wondering what these tiers all mean, anything in C tier, not just entertained or above, is something that might be worth checking out, and everything below is
Hmm.
probably something safe to ignore.
I feel like
I
I've done okay so far then. I feel like I've seen, mostly what I need to get by on this show, but
yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Now, The Golden Compass is next. Have you seen that or even read the books? Because I read those books quite a lot when I was a teenager. I really loved them, and I hated the movie because it's very
That's
different and cuts out important things.
it just won't be my time again. Like it was like again, like me going to college and just like I wasn't gonna watch the Golden Compass.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I don't care about this, but it
It's
sounds like
Lord of
you
the
have more
Rings, Harry
feeling.
Potter exploitation. They really wanted to cash in on that epic fantasy thing, and then they cut out most of the plot lines that would like make sequels possible. It's
Oh,
very strange
why would you do
decisions.
that?
Yeah, I don't. It's
Yeah,
yeah, bad adaptation.
that would
But
make a
I
better
like this the
movie.
core material enough that I
Okay,
don't want to put it down in Regal ad.
and
So
it's
just
another
not
Daniel
entertained.
Craig partnership. That's
Yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm probably not going to see that. I don't
No,
know.
it's better than Aragon if we're talking about like
Okay.
failed fantasy adaptations of the
Well,
2000s.
there's every possibility as like Ezra's a young adult that we're going to see that. I'm gonna say I'm gonna save it for then. I will see it then.
Oh, and they even like tried they made like an HBO series a couple years ago. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
how far they got into that.
I think
I
I'm
never
more
watched
familiar
any
with
of it.
that. I watched 2 episodes of every HBO show. So that's good. I'm saving them for prison. So
Next is Baz Luhrmann back again with the most Australian movie ever made called Australia with Nicole Kidman and Hugh Jackman.
would you rank
Long,
it down under also? Or
I would rank it down under down in D for just not entertained. It's a
I
big bloated mess. I don't like it, but it's something. Baz Luhrmann still has style. It's at least interesting. It's not Regal ad. Have you
I'd
seen
put
this
it,
one?
yeah,
Have you
I'd put it
suffered
in
through it?
not a Kidman movie. It's offensive. It's offensive to me. But no,
Oh,
just not
really?
entertains probably. I mean, Baz Luhrmann looks better than like whatever's in the Regal ad section, right?
Yeah.
Even a Bad Luhrmann seems like it'd be more worth watching than some of those. Worthwhile maybe. Worthwhile kind of bad.
Now, the next one might not be a very good movie, but I do think it's a very interesting movie again, and that's Nine, directed by Bob Marshall.
Hmm.
Now, and there's a very wide world of uh directors making their own 8.5, whether it's
Hmm. Yeah.
Takeshi Kitano, Glory to the Filmmaker, or
Yeah.
Bob Fosse, all that jazz, Woody Allen, Stardust Memories, and Yuri to Bardo, right? But Nine is different because it's not Rob Marshall making his 8.5. It's
Hmm.
Rob Marshall like remaking 8.5 as a musical. Like it's
Okay.
not personal to him in that way, but he's doing it in the style of like Bob Fosse, who
Hmm.
Chicago he adapted in a few years earlier. It's the Best Picture winner, which I think is a great movie. But yeah, Nine is a bit of a mess, I think, but it does kind of fascinate me in that way. It's
Okay.
got Daniel Day-Lewis at the center. He's Guido. A lot of great actresses in the supporting roles, like Sophia Loren,
And it has
Penelope
Marion
Cruz.
Cotillard on it. That's good. I had to maybe check it out.
Yeah, I put it in not just entertained, even if it might not be the strongest movie.
And the director seems to do a lot of the same stuff now. Like he just did The Little Mermaid, and he did a one of the later Pirates movies. I mean, he just
Oh
seems to
yeah,
adapt other people's stuff later on in his
that
career.
Pirates movie is terrible. But he did Stranger Tides, right? The
Yeah,
one with the
yeah, that one's
mermaid. Yeah.
bad. Yeah, he did Mary Poppins Returns. That's fine. Uh, fine. Yeah, I mean, that seems interesting. I like Daniel Day-Lewis too.
Uh-huh. Next one is another Oscar nomination for her, and that's Rabbit Hole. Um, did you see this one or not?
No, another I'm very interested in and almost saw several times.
I think the plot is something like Miles Teller, like is it a he kills somebody in a car accident by accident, or like maybe her kid or something. It's been a
Hmm.
while for me, but she's like dealing with the grief and like this person in her life who did this to her, even if it was an accident. I think it's a good performance, a good movie.
Cool.
I put it not just entertained or somehow reborn.
I like her doing like indie stuff too. Like I like that she's like facilitating between like Golden Compass and maybe I could do this indie grief movie. That's great. I appreciate it. Uh, I'm fine if you want to do Reborn. I want to see it.
Actually,
Maybe.
I don't know if I like it that
Okay.
much. And now that like when I was talking through it, I realized I couldn't even remember what the central conceit is exactly. So maybe it's not shouldn't be up at the top.
Sure. That's good.
Like, now here's one that probably should go at the bottom. Let's just go with it. The Adam Sandler movie. She's not in it too much. It's mostly Jennifer Aniston is the other lead with Adam Sandler. I don't know if you've seen this one, but
Uh, I'm sure. Yeah, I did in theater, I'm pretty sure, which is unfortunate. A lot of unfortunate Sandler movies I've seen.
yeah, I think Nicole Kidman comes into it because like Jennifer Aniston, like she's a Sandler's assistant, right? And like
Mm.
he pays her to pretend to be his girlfriend or something, and she makes up a name based on her friend from college. And she calls herself Devlin, and then that friend from college shows up in the same place, and it's weird that they both have the same name, Devlin. I think that's how Nicole Kidman comes into it because she's Devlin, but it's Regal Ad Tier. It's an Adam Sandler movie and it sucks. I don't like it. I'm sorry. I don't know who I'm apologizing to. Maybe
Yeah,
our friend Kevin if he's listening, but
yeah. Apologies to Kevin I mean, you know, it seems just like all the other Happy Medicine, like vacation movies or whatever. Fine.
now Trespass. This is another filmmaker's last movie. This one's Joel Schumacher's.
She ended a lot of directors' careers, wouldn't you say? She seems to be
It
at the
seems
tail end
to.
of like Kubrick and Schumacher
Yeah.
and Pollock, like
Pollock,
significant
yeah.
directors.
Maybe maybe there's something there. Maybe, I don't know.
Hmm.
Future filmmakers should watch out. Don't want to make your
Yeah.
last movie. Uh she's the victim of a home invasion, or her whole family is, her with Nick Cage. I'd say just not entertained, not very good. I'd say most of Joel Schumacher's movies. Oh, this is the second time Schumacher's here, isn't he? Because
Yeah,
Batman
Batman.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a reunion.
Hmm. I mean, Schumacher, I mean, his Batman's terrible, but he has perspective. I don't know. I don't know if Trespass does.
No, I don't. I put it down and just not entertained. Could be Regal Ad, maybe. If I were to rewatch it right now, maybe I'd
Mhm.
hate it, but didn't leave a strong enough impression. Hemingway and Gellhorn. Now she's in like in the 2010s, she sort of enters this era where she's doing like all this prestige, like historical biopic fiction kind of stuff. And I
Lots of
think
like
it's all
book
so,
club type stuff that was
oh God, I wish she was in book club.
sure.
That'd be
Like
fun.
I mean like based on like literature, like
Yeah.
literary stories, kind of what
Uh-huh.
I mean.
And I think they're just very dry and not my thing. I don't like I most of these next batch of movies I don't like at all. I'd put it down in Regal Ad. They're just not entertained just for being so boring. I don't care for it.
Sure. Uh, I don't know. Yeah, like I'm a big Hemingway guy, which I think we'll probably find out in a little bit. But
Oh, have you
uh,
seen this one? Sorry, do
yeah,
you
I
want to
have at some
argue?
point. I do just not entertained though, even though I'm a huge guy. Maybe because I'm a huge Hemingway person. It's just not enough. That's fine.
Now, next is The Paperboy, not the debut film from Matt Farley and Charles Roxburgh, but
Wish it were. Yeah.
yeah. No, this one's by Lee Daniels and it's got Zac Efron and Nicole Kidman pisses on his face. I think that's a Regal Ad.
Oh, I was going to say somehow reborn, but I mean maybe that
Oh,
moment because you're describing.
but to be clear, you have this rated at a half star on
Out of
Letterboxd.
yeah, I mean
Okay.
1 out of 10, but I thought we were just talking about that singular moment. But I mean, yeah, you're right. Like as a whole moment, like as a whole movie. I mean, I don't know if Lee Daniels is my guy. I think I'm kind of out on him. I found Billie Holiday so like offensive as like someone in recovery and just thinking about the FBI and the role of the murder there. But that's all. That's all extra stuff. The whole like Nia Simone and Holiday story is just so like interesting to me. But maybe I'm out on Lee Daniels. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think The Paperboy might be like the most actively bad movie we've had here yet. Like most are just like
Oh, I
cheap,
hated it.
poor constructions, like boring, whatever. But the Paperboy is just absolutely terrible. Let's
I
move on to
mean,
better movies.
yeah, I just go watch the Moturn movie and listen to our episode on that. That's all you got to do.
Uh-huh.
Um,
So Stoker, I love this one. I know you watched it very
yeah,
recently and did not like it as
Stoker's.
much.
I mean, it's fine. I think it's okay. I think it's clear that it's not like a Park Chan Wook script, though. To me, like it's not his story. It doesn't feel like. I mean, it feels like there's bits and pieces of like the handmaiden emerging here. What do you like so much about it?
Uh, I love the cast. Mia Wasikowska in the lead and how like she's discovering she's like into more violent things like her uncle coming to visit family. It's like what's the Hitchcock movie where like the uncle shows up and he's not the uncle or something.
Yeah,
I don't remember the name of it. I
right. I
should.
don't either. I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just a really tense thriller and the scene with the metronome and the letters on the stairs, so many great shots in there.
Mm.
Everything's brilliantly composed. I would put it in magic or perfect and powerful for me. I don't know how high I can talk you up on this.
I think Magic's probably the highest I'd go, but I'd probably do somehow Reborn myself, just because I think the script is so weak and Park Chan Wook just over directs like the hell out of like kind of a bad script. I think it performances are really good though, so you can talk me up if you want this in Magic. I'll let this happen. Um, I'm fine
Uh,
if you want to do
I,
that.
well, maybe we'll revisit
Okay.
it when we get through some more here. The Railway Man, this is just another prestige historical fiction thing that I could not care less about.
Is she going for Oscars in this period? Do you think?
I don't know because she already had three nominations at this point. She already
Yeah.
won for the hours, right? So I don't think so. Like these aren't like it's not like these are big directors or
Right.
anything like that. Like I don't know. I don't understand this wave of movies. Maybe she was just taking what she could get. Maybe this was just a low point in her career in that sense. I don't know, but
Yeah, maybe she had personal things going. I mean, we never know what's in someone's life either.
yeah, that's true. Don't want to pass too much judgment, but I put Railway Man probably just not entertained. Grace of Monaco, another one. She's playing Grace Kelly, but after her acting career, when she's Princess or Queen of Monaco,
I
whatever
feel like
happened to her
my
there.
wife would be fascinated. I bet she's seen it and has a lot to say about it. I wish I asked her about it. She glows, Grace
Is she
Kelly.
around? Can we get her on right now?
No,
No,
she's
okay.
making food for Ezra right now.
I think it's painfully dull again. There's somebody playing Hitchcock in it, asking her to come back to do another movie. That's at least
Mhm.
interesting, but it's her just wrestling with Moroccan politics for the most time for most of the movie. I don't care. I put it down to Regal Ad or just not entertained. Uh,
I mean, it sounds more interesting to me than the Regal Head movies because
okay.
maybe I'm just interested in Grace Kelly and like her after career because I think it's fascinating that she became like a princess. It's that just doesn't happen to most
Yeah.
almost anyone.
Next is Before I Go to Sleep. Nicole Kidman wakes up. She's lost her memory. This guy's
God,
telling her he's her husband. Is that what's really going on? Is there some gaslighting going on? I don't know.
it
Uh,
sounds so basic. Like it sounds like such a basic script idea, but I haven't, I
yeah,
don't know what it is.
that's about it. There is gaslighting. Wow, who would have expected? Uh, he's not her husband, so just
Right.
not entertained.
Wow. Yeah. Who would have guessed? I mean,
Paddington.
are we already in Paddington? Okay.
Yeah, we're blazing through these things.
Yeah.
We've only got
I
like 20 to go.
I
We've
mean,
gone through
like
50.
her role in Paddington is, I think, one of her, like highlights, right? Like I don't know. Was it just the first one? Is she in both? She's in the
Yeah,
first one,
she's
right?
the villain in the first one, and that's it. Yeah, because
Okay, she
the
hasn't come back. That's right.
no.
And she plays what's her name, like Maleficent or something, or it's not Maleficent, but it sounds like Maleficent. And I think she plays such a funny villain in it, and it's such a funny way to use Nicole Kidman after this kind of dry period of, kind of basic literature, Oscar contemplative stuff. I really
Yeah,
like it.
I love
I think
Paddington.
you like, okay, Magic or Reborn?
Magic. I think it's. I don't think it's better than. I think it's better than Portrait of a Lady in Cold Mountain
Okay.
for
My
sure.
only
Yeah.
thing is it's not I think Paddington 2 is maybe a classic, and I just don't watch Paddington 1 that much, is my only argument.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is a bit overshadowed, but
But it's
Paddington
great.
2 is not on this list. So
What she does in it is, I think, one of the great things in the Paddington movies between them. I'm good with that.
okay.
Magic.
Now we're back to dry historical stuff with Werner Herzog's The Queen of the Desert. This one's
Hmm.
got R-Pats. I would say just not entertained again. I don't care. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I don't like the historical fiction stuff like this. Doesn't usually do it for me.
You'll find out maybe I do in a little bit, but we'll see.
Okay. But you haven't seen this one, right?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's Strangerland. She's back in Australia for this one, I think,
Hmm.
with Joseph Fiennes.
And she hasn't
Uh
done a lot of that. I guess that's interesting.
yeah, I it's been I guess since Happy Feet since she did anything Australian.
Yeah,
And before Happy Feet, like back to the 90s. So yeah.
that
Uh
big Australian movie about the penguins and that. Yeah, of course.
uh I think she's like suppressed housewife kind of narrative,
Hmm.
like Todd Haynes Safe kind of, but
Oh,
nowhere near as great as
no.
Safe.
Okay,
Uh
fair.
it could I would not put it
Well,
above D
most
tier.
things are not as good as Safe, I'll say. Uh,
That's true.
it's hard
But
to be as good as Safe. I mean, that's a great movie. Okay, if it's not good though, it's not good.
yeah, Strangerland's not good. Next is Family Fang. Uh she's
Hmm.
with Jason Bateman in this one. They're Christopher Walken is their dad. I don't remember who their mother is, but like their parents are like big performance artists, and they constantly manipulated Kidman and Jason Bateman as kids into like being part of their art. And so there's
What?
like resentment with them as adults, and they're dealing with that. And like they never know if their parents are being serious or if it's like part of an act for another piece of
Yeah.
performance art or something.
Um,
Uh, Again, I'm sorry to say this so much. I don't really like it, but
that's fine.
uh,
Again, there's so many movies that there's bound to be like a whole bulk that she takes a lot of shots. So
yeah, I mean, this is true for every actor. I think this is not something against Nicole Kidman, but if you're going to be in 70 movies, most of them are not going to be perfect and
I
powerful
mean,
or even
it
close to that.
if you're a woman too, you're not going to get Daniel Day-Lewis opportunities every single time. It's not going you don't get 13 like knock him out of the park and retire opportunities. You just have to work. Working is okay.
Mhm. Now, Secret in Their Eyes, which is the
Hmm.
remake of an Argentinian movie of, I think it's the same name or at
Yeah,
least close to it.
it's close.
Have you seen either version of this?
Yeah, I mean, they both seem. What did I see? Uh, I saw the Campanella. Is that the director? I saw his The Secret in Their Eyes.
I don't know the director off
He
the top of
must
my
be the
head.
Argentinian director.
Yeah,
You mean? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I saw that semi recently. Thought it was really great. So I don't know. I'm interested. Is this
It's
good?
not as good when you
Okay.
put Julia Roberts in there. I don't. Yeah,
That
just
that
not
movie had a
entertained.
lot going on. The Argentinian one, though. There's a lot of things you could remake in there. I could see it.
Yeah, but you just don't need to.
Yeah,
The
it's complete.
it doesn't offer any improvements.
Fair.
And another dry, stuffy historical novelist thing for me. Sorry, I just don't
Uh-oh.
like these. And she's in so many of them. Genius. How do you feel about Genius? Because you have seen this one.
Uh, I mean, I like it. I will say Genius is one of my favorite books, so it's difficult. Like, I think I had the movie rated really high a while ago, and then I was like, well, the movie isn't quite the book. So it's about Maxwell Perkins, who was kind of like in the circle of like Ezra Pound, and she plays. I think we have to think of the Kidman part. So she's like a muse, right, for Thomas Wolfe. She plays his muse in it. So she's like kind of separated from central character because really this is about Maxwell Perkins, who is Colin Firth. One of my heroes as an editor. Like I think about editing all the time, and Maxwell Perkins is one of my favorite guys because he did all the edits of like Hemingway, who's known for his like terse, like heavily edited style. And there's so much good stuff in here though. Like the Fitzgeralds are in here in profile, but there's so much detail in the book that's just not able to fit into a movie. Like I've read the book many times, surprisingly, which is like kind of funny for a dry book about an editor, right? But I love that. I maybe just I mean
You want to put it
I'm
in not
struggling.
just entertain, because it sounds like there are interesting things about it for the right audience. Like I'm not
Hmm.
huge on Nine either, but I think I got that up here. Maybe we can put Genius up there on the same terms, or it's at least interesting.
Yeah, I wish it were really high because it's like my favorite story and it's like my favorite group to think about. Like I named my daughter after Ezra Pound. I'm kind of in on this group, right? Like
Oh yeah.
uh, so yeah, I mean see, just not just entertained is fine. I mean I was entertained, but not more, right?
Yeah, that's what that means.
Okay, that's fair.
Uh Now is Lion, which I
It
think
looks
she got a
cool.
supporting nomination for, maybe. I remember being really disappointed when I saw this, but that was like
Okay.
back in 2016, and that was like the first year I was paying attention to movies kind of. I was
Hmm.
looking at the best picture nominees, like going down all these, and like I watched this one, and it's just like this guy uses Google Maps to find his family, and that's it. And I
I know.
really
I tried it a few times and it seemed like there was nothing there to me. So I'm fine with anything you want to. I tried getting through it. I just can't right now. Uh
it might be a bit
just not
harsh, but I would
entertained.
I'm not entertained by it. Sorry.
Not
I
a
just don't
Regal
think there's a
ad.
lot of meat there, and she's not in it too much either. That could arguably be not a no. She's in One of the House a lot, isn't she?
Hmm.
It's been a long time again
Sure.
since 2016.
Yeah.
Uh, How to Talk to Girls at Parties.
Ugh. I mean, I kind of wanted this to be good. I thought it could have been cool, and I was kind of looking forward to it. I think I saw it at a festival. Um,
Yeah, what is it? Elle Fanning is an alien, right? Nicole
yeah.
Kidman is a punk rocker, and
Oh, that
like
sounds cool. And it is from Joan Cameron Mitchell, who did Hedwig and the Witch and the Rabbit Hole movie. So interesting for her, maybe. I don't
oh, I didn't
know.
realize he did Rabbit Hole. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
yeah. So there's something there. I just hated the movie. Like it just didn't work for me.
I
I
didn't
don't.
hate the movie at all.
Okay, you didn't.
I personally I would put it in not just entertained. I think there's something there, like the wacky conceit of Elle Fanning trying to understand humans, and she's in this punk environment with like Nicole Kidman really giving it her all in this wild performance. I feel like I don't know.
It
I kind
sounds
of
good
dig it.
when you say it, and when I think about it, and when I want to see it, it sounds really good. But when I watched it, I just I
Okay.
mean, I'm fine. You want let's do not just entertain because it's a cool thing and it has like a holdover from Rabbit Hole, which is maybe Rabbit Hole is seems better than this, but I have to see it too. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
and now I feel like we're back in the swing of things with her career, where she's in more interesting movies, at least for me,
Yeah,
because
at least
now
that's an
is
interesting role. I mean,
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
great.
And now it's Yorgos Lanthimos's Killing of a Sacred Deer. I love this movie.
I saw a movie just yesterday that was very much killing of a sacred deer,
Oh yeah?
called The Uncle at Fantastic Fest in Austin. They're doing they do like those genre movies and it's very like dark humor. It's like funny games and killing of a sacred deer all at once, which is kind of a crazy thing. It's not as good as that sounds, but I love
I'll have to keep an
Yorgos
eye out for that one
Lanthimos.
then.
uh,
The Uncle, you said.
yeah, the
Yeah, yeah.
uncle. And it's from Croatia. I haven't seen many Croatian films, so that's kind of cool. um I have this underrated. I actually like this much more than my rating. That's interesting. How'd that happen? I like this movie a lot. uh
Did we put it in Perfect and Powerful, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I need to bump mine up a lot because I think about this movie all the time, and Yorgos is one of my favorite directors. So my rating must have been a misclick. I have this now at 8 out of 10. I love it. Um, that happens, by the way,
Yeah.
when you go through a ton of movies and you're just like trying to rank them all. You misclick.
Yeah, of course. But again, she's supporting in it, but she does she channels that Yorgos energy so well, just that like
Yeah,
sort of stilted Like, is this even, do people talk like this? What is going on? Who wrote this? Like,
Uh,
I don't know.
I
She
mean,
does so well with it.
and we have the Colin Farrell, Barry Keoghan like a preemptive thing before the
Yeah,
Banshees.
yeah.
I love this movie. Why? Yeah, I mean, I need to watch it again because I'm feeling very warm about it. I'm happy as high as you want to put it. Let's say that.
Hmm. And now Sofia Coppola's The Beguiled.
Hmm.
Uh, it's a remake of a Clint Eastwood movie, which I have not seen.
Okay, you haven't seen the Clint Eastwood. Interesting.
No.
Uh,
Uh,
it's pretty
I,
much the same movie.
okay. Well, I
Yeah.
like I like this Coppola version. Maybe I'll like the original too. I would put it in somehow Reborn or Magic, maybe. I don't know how you
Uh,
feel about this one.
I mean, I just do it not just entertain the myself, but I mean, if you like it that much, The Beguiled's a good idea for a movie.
Yeah, I really do need to see that original one. Clint Eastwood didn't direct that, did he? Who do you
He's
know
in
off the
it,
top of your
right?
head? Yeah.
Um, I think I don't think he did direct it though, because I have all his movies even right here.
Yeah,
Let's
this is
see.
another
Yeah,
one with
Don
Colin Farrell,
Siegel.
right? I guess she did two movies with Colin Farrell in
Oh,
2017 with Killing of a Sacred Deer and Beguiled.
and I don't know if you know, like Colin Farrell's like in my, top 10 actors. He's like
Yeah,
my
of
guy.
course.
So, okay,
Yeah.
you do know. And it's
You put
Don Siegel.
Banshees of Inisherin number one last year, right? Or did you move something up?
No, that was, yeah, my number one by far. Like one of my favorites of the last decade. And yeah, the Clint Eastwood one's Don Siegel. So that's, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe the Coppola one's better because I don't know. Don Siegel's
Well,
like he did
I
like
can't
the
be right. I
Dirty
haven't seen the
Harrys.
original. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe though. Maybe you're onto something. Maybe
Maybe I'm cooking.
yeah. Maybe you're cooking.
The Upside remake
Oh my
of
God,
The Intouchables.
that felt
Uh,
so recent to me. uh,
well, yeah, I think this
yeah.
took 2 years to actually get released because like the date
Okay.
on Letterboxd says 2017, but I know it didn't get its wide release till 2019 because that's when I would have seen it. Uh, yeah, it has all the problems The Intouchables does. It's not handling race in the best way.
Yeah. I mean, it's that thing where it's doing that, but it's fine. Like as a movie, it's fine. Like I just not entertained. But I think the Untouchables. I don't know. It's a problematic movie.
Yeah,
I don't know where to put it. Either way, it's
just
fine.
not entertained.
Okay.
I don't think it's like horribly offensive. I don't know. Weird
Mm.
thing to say, but
And I don't know, like the cast is weird. Like Kevin Hart, Bryan Cranston was a weird thing to do with that remake.
yeah.
I'm okay with it though.
Okay. Destroyer. This one is her properly in the lead again. She's playing she was a cop who had like an undercover mission that went wrong or something, and she needs to like go back in and did you see this one when it came out? I saw it when it came out and not since.
Someone else reviewed it for me. I was going to review it and then someone stepped up, but by Karen Kuosama, who did Jennifer's Body, which I think is amazing. So I want to see it.
Yeah, I don't think it's great. I mean, it's not the kind of movie I would ever really find that great.
Hmm.
To be honest, but I was not just entertained with it. I think she's very good in it. In terms of Nicole Kidman performances, I think she has more to do with this movie than most of the other movies around here. So
Hmm.
at least C tier for me.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
let it above there, I think.
Okay.
Even though I haven't seen it, I've read enough. I've edited a review. No,
Yeah, that's
I
basically
want
the
to see it.
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, now Boy Erased, which is not even the best like movie about conversion camps from 2018. I think there's the one. I think like there's the one with Chloe Grace Moretz from the same year, right?
Yeah, I forget what that was called, but I remember them both like distinctly coming at the same time.
Yeah, with Lucas Hedges
Hmm.
as the lead, Russell Crowe as the dad, Nicole Kidman's the mom. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I mean Lucas Hedges is fine. It's good.
Not just entertained.
Yeah,
C
that
tier.
seems fine. Like I'd give it like 3 out of 5 maybe.
Yeah, that's about what that tier should be, I think. Uh, Aquaman. Woohoo!
Hmm.
What does Aquaman say in Justice League?
Let's go to the water, boys. Is
I
that not his
mean,
catchphrase?
no, he has like some dumb catchphrase in Justice. I can't remember. We should move on. How do you feel about Aquaman? I know it's got an octopus who plays the drums. Is that enough for you? Might be
I mean,
enough for
I wish
me.
it were. I don't like it.
Okay.
Just not entertained. Probably is fair. And I don't think Kidman, like, I don't think it's like a revelatory Kidman movie. It doesn't
No.
really matter, like in the arc of her career, it's just something she was in.
Yeah, it is kind of funny that she's in that because if you look at all the movies around it, like they're all like indie
Yeah,
projects. She's
if she,
doing movies for the art, and now it's
right,
just Aquaman in the middle of all that.
if
I
she's
don't
going
know.
to take on two superhero movies, you wouldn't guess they'd be like Batman Forever and Aquaman. You'd think that they'd be like one of the Prestige sides of ones, like one of the Nolan ones, or something
Yeah.
interesting.
And the
Hmm.
Goldfinch.
Good
I think
book,
this one's a big dud.
good book, bad movie, maybe.
Yeah, I really hated this movie. I was very frustrated watching it with it.
Hmm.
I didn't like, I didn't explore the ideas it wanted to. I hated it at the time. I would put it in Regal Ed unless you want to talk it up. Do
No.
you? No.
I
Okay.
mean, I couldn't get through it. I tried it and I turned it off. So I don't think I need to stick up for it.
Bombshell. I think this one's another stinker, but it's at least a
Mm,
well-intentioned stinker. I
mm,
don't. You like it more? Would you?
mm,
How do you want it?
hmm. Yeah, I like it quite a bit actually. I'm
Really?
trying to think
Okay.
because I think it's valuable to make these kinds of movies, whether or not it's good. I think that there's importance to it. I'm trying to think of like whether I'm ranking it as a Nicole Kidman though, or am I like saying that's it? That's a movie I like, right? Uh,
Oh, I think we've crossed that line in both
yeah,
directions at many points. We're not really consistent on it. So,
sure. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's fine and not just entertained actually. I
okay.
like the ensemble there. I'm surprised you're not into it, but maybe it's a little basic.
Yeah. I've been pushing a lot of movies down to lower tiers. Maybe we should be a bit more generous with some of these.
Right? Like our top three tiers are pretty barren, but yeah, I think they're strong if what's there
Yeah.
is good movies.
And like when it comes down to it, I don't think like it matters how much better Australia is than Bush Christmas. Like, I mean, who
Yeah,
cares? Yeah.
right. I mean, just not
Uh,
entertained is a lot of it, but that doesn't really represent how good of an actress she is, because even
no,
in the
no.
bad things, I think she's pretty good.
Like, yeah, unless an actor is just extremely selective with what they do, like Daniel Day-Lewis or something, and like most actors can't afford to do
Afford to
that,
do that.
especially
Yeah.
actresses. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they want to be getting parts while I mean, you hate to say it, but like young enough for women is important to like get them in while you're of an age where
Yeah.
unfortunately people will cast.
And now the prom. Uh, this is this is about some like Broadway people who are like they're in failing shows. They're not very good, and they hear this viral story about this small town who won't let the lesbian student like go to prom with her girlfriend, and they go there and they're like trying to convince all those townspeople to change or something. And they're pathetic. They're purposely pathetic, but James Corden is also one of it, and it's just so annoying. Everything about that movie, I don't like it at all. Nicole
Mm,
Kidman she's the Bob Fosse kind of character out of all of them. She probably has the best musical number, I will say, out of all of them. So this is like the second Fosse kind of thing she's done after Nine. But yeah,
mm.
it was a struggle to watch. Very long. It's
Yeah.
Ryan Murphy.
I mean, I just don't like Ryan Murphy. I'm not going to watch it because
Okay.
I think people know why people don't like him, maybe. It's a big Netflix deal and how prominent he is in his shows and how many shows he has that are just like really mediocre is kind of why. Um, don't care about Ryan Murphy's movies.
How do you feel about Aaron Sorkin now this time directing, being the
Ooh.
Ricardos,
uh,
which somehow she got an Oscar nomination for? I mean, I
did
guess for,
she?
for yeah, she did. Like I think three people got Oscar noms out of that movie.
Do you think
Like top
anyone's seen that movie since like last year, let's say. Like, has anyone in 2023 watched this on purpose?
I don't think so, unless someone like just discovered Aaron Sorkin and they, I don't
Right,
know,
yeah.
but yeah,
I mean, I guess if you're doing a Sorkin watch, it's maybe worthwhile.
no,
And
but it's terrible. He should not be directing. Like he's a
mm,
fine writer. Molly's Game was
I
actually
like Molly's
okay,
Game.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well, what else?
not
There's
Chicago 7.
I
Yeah,
rated
and
it
so
too high when I reviewed it. I was too in on trial.
we put it down a Regal ad then.
Okay.
Yeah, and her last movie to date, The Northman, Robert Eggers. Not it's my least favorite Eggers movie, but that doesn't
But that's
mean too
I
much.
mean
Yeah.
I mean me too, but that's that still ended up in my top like of that year, you know.
Yeah.
I mean
How high do you how much do you like this, Colin?
I love it. I would say somehow reborn, but I don't know like if it's really a great like exhibition of Kidman, so I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. I mean, most of these movies aren't great
Yeah,
exhibitions of Kidman, but
they
somehow
could all
Reborn,
be
yeah,
better
I
at
can
it.
definitely go at least that high.
Okay.
I thought you might want to put it up in Magic, but this is
I
fine.
I think I have it at 8 out of 10 or so, which is like a high eight that I love Eggers. Besides Glazer, maybe my favorite of the modern directors.
Yeah,
We'll see.
definitely
We'll
up there
find
for
out
me as
about
well.
both of them. They both have three movies, right? We'll see.
Yeah, and so yeah, that's all of Nicole Kidman's feature films to date. Oh, we did skip over like some Stephen Merchant thing that I think it's like part of his show or like a movie
Oh,
out of his show, but she appears as herself in it. So I didn't watch
okay.
it. I don't care. I'm sorry, Brits. I don't like your comedy. Not,
Wow.
not.
Uh,
uh,
Stacks on notice.
yeah.
Um, what's
Next
what's coming
is
up for Nicole Kidman? She's in Aquaman too. That'll be
yeah,
yeah, that's soon. Uh, so I'm kind of
the
glad we're
movie that
not ending with that.
everybody's walking out of test screenings of, or right? Isn't that happening? Everybody
Yeah,
hates Aquaman too.
and I don't really recognize anything else she's in coming up. Um, we'll see. I think she still has a great career, as shown by the AMC ads. If you had to place the AMC ad, wouldn't you put "Perfect and Powerful"? Would be the
Oh yeah, of
yeah.
course. If not higher, we would have to invent a new tier.
Yeah, like a S. I don't want to say SS. Something else like a S
S
plus.
plus. Yeah.
Yes. Uh, yeah, perfect. I think you know,
Yeah, I mean I joke about it all the time and everybody does, but like I really I do think it's a just a very it's such an interesting thing to exist to me. Also because like I had just randomly decided to watch a lot of Nicole Kidman movies before that even
mhm.
happened. And then like that I see that ad for the first time, it would have been like September 2021. And it's just like a big joke on me. Like now she is in front of every movie I see. I,
Yeah.
and like the thing is, like when I saw it the first time, I was just like, oh, they got a bunch of actors. They're all gonna talk about how great it is to be back at the movies after the pandemic. Like
Then
next
2 or
week,
3 years
gonna
in.
be Joaquin Phoenix talking or something. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's her every time. I just think that is the funniest thing.
I just think it's brilliant because it's like her experience of going to the movies is she's like so dressed up and then she sits in the middle and nobody sits in the theater with her. It's like it's AMC's
She
advertisement is of empty theaters.
she's
Very
watching
funny.
Jurassic World and La La Land and Creed
Yeah.
2 all alone, or not Creed 2, Creed and Wonder Woman, right? Those are all the movies,
Right.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of interesting selections too, possibly,
What do
but
you
they're
think
very
the movies are going to be for the sequel?
oh, what do you think? I think we're going with Australia, Happy Feet,
uh
Aquaman.
Paddington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paddington 2 would be great in the sequel. I would accept
Maybe
it.
like a few frames of BMX Bandits. That'd be good.
I don't think they
But
should
just
make
a
the
for stunt
sequel.
double.
Maybe they should just leave the ad as it is. It's perfect as it is.
Okay.
Perfect and
Do you think we
powerful.
should recap this list at all, or do you not want to list 75 films?
I mean, should we maybe just do like the first few tiers that are just like these are movies we recommend?
Yeah, let's start at C tier, go up, and
Hmm.
then say anything we didn't just mention is not really
And
worth your time.
if you want a reference, you could just look on. We'll have a YouTube link in the description, and if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
watching on YouTube, you could just watch.
Okay. Can you see these well enough to say them yourself, or do I need to read them all
Um,
out?
I think I might. Okay, I think I could do it. Okay, S tier, perfect and powerful. Eyes wide shut. Moulin Rouge. Birth, killing a sacred deer. A for magic. Dead calm. The others, Dogville and Paddington. B, somehow reborn. Portrait of a Lady, Cold Mountain, Stoker, The Beguiled, and The Northman. Those are all great movies. I like all these movies.
Yeah, you've seen everything in the top three tiers then, right? Is that how we ended up here?
I think so. I hope I didn't like balance it out where like things that were deserving didn't get in because I didn't see them. Do you feel that happened?
No, 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 I don't think
Okay.
so at all. I mean, if anything, it's like me seeing things makes them go down. I don't know.
Because like I think if I were just doing this alone, Genius would have like somehow ended up in like Perfect and Powerful, and I would have just talked about Hemingway and Ezra Pound for like an hour. Uh,
I'd listen.
so at least it like balances us out. Maybe there's opportunity for that one day. I need to get one of my like editing friends in on it. Uh, something. I feel good. I feel good about the list.
Yeah, check out the YouTube video if you're not already watching it, and if you want to see the whole list, maybe we can just post an image of the whole thing on the Twin Geeks Twitter. I don't know, or I don't know if you're still using that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're still on the Twitter and the X and the what else? What else? Are the blue ski, blue ski as people are calling it. Threads. It's funny. Like these aren't even prominent enough that you're like, oh, that's instant recognition. Like I have to think of what these apps are that I use now. Um, cool. Well, I hope you were not just entertained, but somehow reborn. Thank you so much, Matt.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Calvin.